Okay, so this is Dad talking about FIU. So what happened with FIU?
It was 1965, and I was at the beginning of my second term as a member of the House of Representatives, and I was looking for an issue that I could pick up and sponsor and get some political points. There had been talk about the absence of a public university in the southeast Florida area, particularly Dade County, for some time, and I decided that I would make it a career out of creating a public university for Dade County. And we discussed it with the education people in Tallahassee, with the regents. I didn't discuss it with the University of Miami or Miami-Dade College because I knew that they would be very upset by having the competition from a public university seeking the same students they were. However, there was a need because we had a whole big influx of young people from South America and particularly from Cuba. We had an invasion from Cuba. And there were an awful lot of young people that were getting to an age where they needed higher education. In any event, I went to work with other members of the delegation, and we introduced a bill to create a 4-year university in Dade County and to authorize the Board of Regents to develop the university. Shortly thereafter, I got a call from my friend from Jacksonville, Jack Matthews. He said, "I understand you're looking for a 4-year university in Dade County." I said, "We sure are." He said, "Well, we would like one in Duval County too." I said, "Join the club." And they did. We amended the bill to create a bill of university for Dade County and a bill for Jacksonville, Duval County, and it passed. The problem was creating the institution once it had been authorized, and we had nothing but problems with who I expected, University of Miami and Miami-Dade College. So eventually the doors opened in 1972 with under the governorship of Claude Kirk. The first president was Chuck Perry, who had been Kirk's chief of staff, and it opened up on the airfield, Chapman Field, Tamiami Air Base, which was owned by the county and turned over to the university system to begin the process. And it developed to a 4-year university with maybe 36,000 students.
Wow.
And a number of them being local, a number of them being residential. It seems to be doing very well.
Amazing. 36,000 students.
That's what they say.
Jeez.
So that's the story of the origin of FIU.
I had no idea you were involved in it, like at its beginning.
I was the floor leader of passing it in the House.
Yeah.
I forgot. Oh, Bob Haverfield handled it in the Senate.
Yeah.
And
Was he was he from Dade County?
What's that?
Was he from Dade?
People.
Was he from Dade?
Oh yeah, Bob Haverfield was an old friend of mine. We sold shoes together at Baker's Shoe Store on Flagler Street.
That's funny.
And he had become a county commissioner, and he ran for the state senate. So he was in the Senate, I was in the House. We put it together with Senator Matthews from Jacksonville,
So he got University of North Florida out of it.
and they were, University of North Florida was also approved by the same piece of legislation.
Wow.
And there was no opposition to it, because the people in the North wanted what they got in the North, the people in the South wanted what they got in the South, and the only people who stood there biting their fingernails were the institutions that were concerned about the competition that was going to be created, and successfully put off the development of the two institutions for 7 years. But
So that was University of Miami, Miami-Dade Community College.
And yes, and there may have been other influences that I was not aware of. They weren't ugly, they were just upset, I mean, concerned and worried, as I guess they should be.
Sure.
So, and perhaps that's the time period was a proper thing, because it gave everybody the time to really develop a major institution.
Right.
So who knows? But
Beautiful.
that's it.